Solihull Music Service were really keen to use aspects of SEAL and PSHE in a new project using a commissioned work called 10 Tribes. The essence of the story is a girl who's looking for a group to belong to, so it's her journey looking at lots and lots of different families or tribes and seeing the positive and the negative aspects of belonging to a group.
Well done, everybody. That sounds great. That sounds great. Can we run the whole of the song, please? 10 Tribes.
What made the 10 Tribes project very special was that we were able to take the commission work and use it to allow the children to start exploring aspects of how they feel, how to develop relationships.
We're going to recapture a journey, one that broke barriers between very different children and brought 24 schools together.
We recognise that children belong to lots of different groups. It could be ethnic groups, religious groups, schools, families, neighbourhoods and so on. But perhaps sometimes children find it difficult within those groups, either because they're excluded from them or because they're not quite sure what the rules are, or they get trapped within groups and things like that. So the idea of the project really is to explore belonging to groups. We called it tribes. We also want the schools to take it on board in the sense that this can feed into their PSHE, their circle time, children producing work around the issues that are raised by the project. We want it to feed in, if possible, into curriculum areas as well.
I've been writing music theatre with Tony Brown for many years for young people, and we try to write music theatre which appeals to young people, which deals with issues that are relevant to them. Over the 8 years that Tony and I have been working together, we've tended to focus on children in mainstream schooling, and this was a challenge for us that we wanted to be all-inclusive, as the project suggests.
24 schools were involved in the 10 Tribes project. Dance and media artists worked with special school pupils with physical and learning disabilities, a pupil referral unit, and mainstream primary schools.
500 children took part in the master choir, and we thought that was quite a clever way of allowing as many children across the borough to access the commission work and talk about aspects of belonging and not belonging to certain groups. We were very keen, I think, that we brought together as many different strands of education and allowed children to work from many, many differing backgrounds.
Some pupils from these special schools find communication challenging. For them, it's hoped that involvement in the 10 Tribes project will help them develop their sense of self-worth.
You need a position inside your hoop. You both have to be inside your hoop.
An Arts Council-funded dance specialist started to work with children like Luke, who is unable to speak, exploring themes on friendship and togetherness.
Children with more profound and severe learning needs don't really have a network outside of the school. Parents won't necessarily think to take them to Scouts or Brownies because of the behaviour problems that's linked with that. And we also find that they don't really tend to see their friends out of school either. So it's a good opportunity for them to be able to feel part of a tribe. It would be really nice for them to see that they've been part of something and they've achieved as a group and work together.
An important pillar of the fully inclusive model was to draw in children from one of Solihull's pupil referral units. As part of the project, dance artist Hayley workshopped some powerful experiences which drew this tribe together.
Remember, it's all slow motion, so you come in like this, you've got a duck.
Yeah, that was good.
They were able to confront feelings about activities that maybe they had actually sort of taken part in. Reenacting a fight scene, was clearly something that they knew a lot about. Hayley had managed to set up that scenario very, very well. So I think the fight scene had obviously helped to set up that feeling of trust that needed to be there, not only with the artist in residence, but with each other.
The main objective for the PRU students was to produce an animation sequence to be shown at the Symphony Hall and at a public exhibition. Media artist Rob Grant introduced the students to the painstaking art of animation.
Now leave the chair where it was. That's good.
PRUs, you simply don't know what's going to happen. So I think the key is to engage them instantly and make sure that they're constantly active.
Bad, Alex.
Well done, guys. That was really good. We've all worked together to make that happen, and this is how your involvement with this project is going to work. Quite quickly, and they could instantly see how easy it is to do, but also pointing out how much extra work might be needed to produce quality work, and they seem to have got that.
Rob Grant also worked with mainstream schools to create props.
What's the problem with this hand? It's a bit wobbly, isn't it?
And we'll do like splodges of dirt. A patch around the eye. Yeah, I like that. Splodge. Well, our group are making the screen and the frames. So we've made them out of wood. It's actually going to be like that. The dog makes friends with the crystal child, and Rob was helping us decide what the dog should look like. And we decided the dog's going to be standing up. It's not going to be 3D, and that we've got to have like a sheet so we can see the heart from the inside.
One of the ways that you can see creativeness going on in a class is to see children working together, discussing problems, having arguments, having fallouts, but eventually getting on, listening to each other, cooperating. All these things are part of the creative process.
Right, this time, can you make a shape that is spiky? Has spiky fingers, spiky knees, spiky toes.
At the special school, the dance activities are beginning to have a real impact on some of the children.
Richard and Martin have worked together brilliantly all the way through, and I think Martin's really helped Richard with his confidence. Richard's quite a reserved child and it's not always very verbal, but once they're dancing together, you can see he's trying to copy Martin's moves, and that's been really good. Luke, it just brightens his day up. Sometimes he does struggle coming into school and he doesn't always want to be here and accessing the curriculum, and I think he's just seeing himself like everyone else and being able to do what everyone else does.
There'd also been progress at Tidbury Green.
Why are you looking at tribes?
Tribes because it's like different hurdles you have to jump through in life.
So you're making the props and you're learning some songs. Are you doing anything else? Are you doing any work in circle time yet, talking about tribes and...
Yeah, I think we have in circle time. We were talking about actually 10 tribes, and we learned all of the stuff about the story. We read like a little bit of the story out and what we actually have to sing.
Oh, very good, excellent.
If you two could work on this character alone, that would be brilliant, because This character starts here and goes all the way to the top.
Back at the PRU, students focused on finishing off their animation.
We wanted to give them a sense of their own self-worth and their own importance. And the idea of a pupil referral unit is that children have opportunities to develop some of that inner strength and a bit of resilience in a different setting which they wouldn't be able to access maybe if they're in a main school setting.
Yeah.
They will, I think, have developed some skills in terms of how to relate through doing that project, how to relate to each other and have a little bit of a maybe wider understanding of who they are as individuals. And I hope they'll take that through with them through their whole life.
I think I've done really well. I haven't I?
Yeah. You have, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Okay.
As the project moved on, there was a new emphasis when the special schools and 4 mainstream schools came together to form a new tribe.
These guys are our resident dancers here. Give us away. So they're used to being here. These people are obviously all new to us. You know me more.
The 10 Tribes project is to do with including people and in the same way excluding people from groups, or tribes we've called them. So the residences and the schools involved in it have explored those subjects. But also what we did was set up a situation whereby the participants would be put in a new group, because one of the things we wanted to explore was how they would feel working in a new group, a different group, a group they've never participated in before.
I was really, really surprised at how easy they just became buddies, I suppose. They just got on with each other really well. I was really happy how fast they just got on with each other and worked together creatively as well. They kind of did some little dance moves together. There didn't seem to be any massive barriers.
The children have done brilliantly in actually beginning to create a new tribe. So this group that we've got here now working is our performance tribe.
A visual and audio record of the work that took place in all the schools as part of the project was put on display at the Solihull Arts Complex, including the final animation piece made by the PRU pupils.
The quality of the animation that the pupils achieved was fantastic, and I think the sense of pride not only by the staff at the PRU but actually by the pupils knowing that they could go and actually see their animation being rolled out to the public must have given them an enormous sense of pride.
And there was a chance for all the teachers involved to get together to evaluate the project's progress.
Some of them have done this sort of tribal aspect, which is the whole story, and done a lot of circle time games, what it feels like to belong, what it feels like to be excluded. Some schools have linked that in with the SEAL units of work.
They've really benefited from working with Merstone School and Shirley Heath and the others, and the change in one of them anyway, Charlotte, has just been astonishing.
The children have made so much progress with social skills. I think initially they were quite worried about working with other children from other schools, but they initiated so much of it themselves, and they'd go over and work with other children, and so the social skills is definitely something, and teamwork is the other thing that they've definitely developed.
It's been an enormous success for our children. 2 of our children have been selected for the final production. You can watch them grow in self-esteem, and it's really empowered them.
We've only got 3 weeks left of rehearsals, so we're trying to now kind of mosey on and get things kind of up to where they're kind of finished. We have done about 3 songs already, and then we've got about another 3 or 4 to do, so we've got quite a lot of work cut out for us.
Richard, Martin and Luke literally supported the whole dance sequence and gained the trust of the mainstream children.
Lovely, guys. Well done. That was really good.
It allowed them to explore, in a very safe environment, fear. What if I don't fit in? What if they don't like me? And that's a very important aspect of SEAL. It's giving them a safe environment to explore feelings and be able to discuss them and learn how to manage those feelings. And I think really that's a very important aspect of the curriculum that we need to be developing with children now.
I'm finding it really fun, like the way we move and the music. Well, I am going to be a little bit scared because I've never been in a huge hall before. I met new friends when I first came here. It feels like we're all just one big class and we're all together because we all work together and that, and we all take part.
Make those arms nice and high, super.
This is our dress rehearsal. We're getting all the choir members, all the dancers together in their places and just having a really big rehearsal and a run through. It's the first time they've got together, so they're all very excited, as you can see. We've got only a little time to do it, so let's try and get things done.
When we sing this afternoon, I want you to sing it as though you have a big symphony orchestra in front of you, because on Monday, when you get into Symphony Hall, we're going to really bring the house down, and I want you to sing your hearts out for me. So we've got to practice.
Don't panic anybody, just think about us being in Marston, but we're a bit further apart. We've got quite a lot of space between the two groups, which means that you won't really be able to follow each other. Yesterday, they were really responsive to kind of changes and kind of corrections, and they're generally, if you tell them to do something, it might take a couple of times, but it does sink in.
Here we go. Class, and I'm trapped in the mask.
There was a slight barrier to begin with, I think only because the children from the mainstream schools weren't used to working in the environment that they were in, and then they didn't quite know how to communicate with them, but there's been some really good changes in the last two weeks or so. Charlotte and Luke have been working together a lot. Martin and Callum have made this amazing duet. I gave them a little task and they just went and they did it, and they were absolutely brilliant, little dancer they've made up. So I think we've seen a real change in kind of their confidence and their kind of ability just to get on with other children and stuff. So it's difficult really. It's not even, I don't even notice it now, which means obviously that it must have developed to a point that there doesn't seem to be many barriers at all really.
Families loads of different schools put together. I feel part of the family. To be part of this feels brilliant and amazing. It feels really great to be part of it.
It feels really nice because it makes you feel like you're part of something.
All these guys here. Best friends, yeah. Miss World. I've made loads of friends. Just we're all friends because we're like a big family because we've all bonded together and we all have to work together. And it's just really fun.
We're going to have a great time this afternoon, this evening. These lovely people in front of you have been here since 10 o'clock rehearsing. So could we give a big round of applause to them?
You really excited? You excited?
The circle and the triangle song was just a really clever way that Tony had allowed children to explore aspects of belonging to a certain group without labelling it. The concept behind the barcodes, going from a face to a barcode, was that essentially we are unique people, but deep down we're all the same. The dog song, where you've got them all with the scarves, what they were trying to get people to look at, that it's okay to be part of lots and lots of different groups, but it's learning that we need to learn to tolerate and learn to live and work together.
So fantastic, excellent, dead proud.
These things stay in people's hearts and minds forever. They change people, these experiences. You have a tremendous sense of success. You're involved in something that's much bigger than you are. You get a sense of purpose, of values, of offering something that's really quite extraordinary.
Absolutely excellent. I was quite surprised actually, because it was something I didn't expect. You know, and to see, I'm really proud of you. I thought it was brilliant, I really did. Excellent.
Luke made me feel very proud. I was emotional during the show.
This is the best thing I've ever done in my whole entire life.
Met new friends as well, which was really good.
I've just been really proud of all the children. They've just amazed me really how well they've coped with it and just how they are. I suppose as adults you just assume that they'll be prejudice is there, and it's just completely wiped those ideas away.